Hey y'all, it's your girl Show, and today we're gonna jump right into it and judge some books by their synopsis. So I'm either gonna give 1 through 5 stars and that be it, but we're gonna read their synopsis and we're just gonna go through them. These are all books on my TBR. Some have been on my TBR for years. So maybe this will get me to read them, or snatch them up a little quicker. But the first book we have is Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Bayron. Now, I love me some Kaylin Bayron, so let's get into it. I honestly wanted to read this book because of the cover. So I actually don't know what this book is about at all. And honestly, I'm not a person that reads synopsis before usually, or at least majority of the time, I don't read the synopsis first, unless I'm like physically in a bookstore. So, Make Me a Monster. Mika is used to death. After all, it's the family business. As a newly certified mortician's assistant at her parents' funeral home, her days are not for the faint of heart. Luckily, her boyfriend Noah isn't squeamish, and Mika is finally feeling ready to say the 3 words that will change everything. But then tragedy strikes, and Mika's world is torn apart. Nothing makes sense, especially as strange things start happening. Ravens are circling her home. Strangers are following her, someone is leaving mysterious items at her door, and worst of all, the dead don't seem to be staying dead. Mika thought she understood death better than anyone. Turns out the family business is a bit more complicated than it seems, and Mika isn't the only one desperate to unearth their secrets, because the truth may be worth dying for. Okay, so this is a YA. Based upon the synopsis alone. Yes, this is interesting, but this is not up my alley, at least not usually, because I don't do horror or thriller often, but I'm gonna give this like a 4 star. I love Kayla, so I trust her. I trust her to write her ass off, even if this is not my normal genre. Okay, yeah. All right, next book we have is One of Our Kind by Nicola Yoon. So #1 New York Times best-selling author Nicola Yoon's daring new work of dystopian horror is a propulsive satire set in an all-Black gated community. This is giving, well, I don't know if it's giving, but it sounds like it's giving Parable of the Sower. For fans of the sellout and erasure with a shocking ending you'll never see coming, Jodi Picoult calls it brilliant, provocative, seminal. Seminal, okay. Your book club will be discussing this one for days. Okay. I mean, I like this one, honestly, because of the cover, too. Even though this is also not in my normal wheelhouse. Jasmine and King Williams moved their family to the planned Black utopia of Liberty, California. It's always California. I mean, shout out to my home state, but oh my goodness. Hoping to find a community of like-minded people, a place where their growing family can thrive. King settles in at once, embracing the Liberty ethos, including the Lux Wellness Center at the top of the hill, which proves to be the heart of the community. But Jasmine struggles to find her place. She expected to find liberals and social justice activists striving for racial equality, but Liberty residents seem more focused on booking spa treatments and ignoring the world's troubles. Not surprised either. Jasmine's only friends in the community are equally perplexed and frustrated by most residents' outlook. Then Jasmine discovers a terrible secret about Liberty and its founders. Frustration turns to dread as their loved ones start embracing the Liberty way of life. Will the truth destroy her world in ways she never could have imagined? A gripping thriller with wry, razor-sharp social commentary. One of Our Kind explores the ways in which freedom is complicated by the presumptions we make about ourselves and each other. This sounds good to me. I love a book like this, even though I thought it was, I mean, I'm sure it has thriller elements, but when it said social commentary, I love a good book that has good social commentary. Okay, this sounds like it would be up my alley. I would give this 4.5 stars just to be safe. It also says seminal, so that sounds like this must be a really good piece. I might need to move this up. Yeah. All right. Next book we have is, and I remember when I put this on my TBR. I've been wanting to read this for years. It looks wholesome, but it's probably not wholesome. It looks like it though. Church Girl by Naima Simone. She's a preacher's daughter, a runaway bride, and now the not quite qualified nanny for a sexy tattoo artist with a beautiful daughter and a dirty mouth. Okay, so I was right. This is not going to be all wholesome. What's a bad boy to do with a woman like her? Everything. Oh, okay. Aaliyah Montgomery isn't just ditching her wedding. She's also fleeing her suffocating small town and her family's expectations. Right on, girl. She's got plans for college, for finding herself. Wait a minute. They ain't let her go to college before they married her off? Oh, this will be a good book. Okay. For college, for finding herself, but landing a job in Chicago that fits her schedule isn't easy. Shit, landing a job anywhere is not easy these days. Good thing Von Howard is desperate to find a live-in nanny. Bad thing that he's a gritty, grumpy, gorgeous tattoo artist carrying as much baggage as he has ink. Ugh. Von's new hire is inexperienced and a fire hazard in the kitchen. She's also all thicker curves, and a distracting mix of innocence and sensuality. After the upheaval of a divorce, he just needs a nanny, not a sneaky link. Meanwhile, Leah is bonding with his 7-year-old and showing an unexpected flair for tattoo art. Who could resist? Yet deep down, Aaliyah is still running from her feelings and her fear of losing herself to someone else's expectations again. Even as their past return to haunt them, their undeniable heat says maybe it's time to stand and fight for a love they didn't see coming. Church Girl is a spicy, fast-paced, fast-paced romance you can read in one sitting. It says fast-paced? Wonder how long this book is. It does not say. But this sounds up my alley for sure. I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. Like this, I understand why I put this on my list, because I would read the fuck out of this. Okay. All right. Next book we have is Sweetness in the Skin by Ishi Robinson. This is a beautiful cover too. Oh my goodness. This is probably why I have these on my TBR. I don't know nothing about them. A delightful coming-of-age story set in Jamaica amid heartbreak, hopefulness, and mirth. Charmaine Wilkerson, New York Times bestselling author of Black Cake. Ooh, Black Cake was really good. Poignant and emotional, with touches of both humor and sorrow. This book makes you think about what it means to be a mother and what it means to be a good mother. Ooh, Julia Quinn. Not Julia Quinn. Okay. A winning debut novel, this coming-of-age story is about a Jamaican girl determined to bake her way out of her dysfunctional family and into the opportunity of a lifetime. This is starting to come back to me. I do remember reading about this a little bit. Pumpkin Patterson is a 13-year-old girl living in a tiny 2-room house in Kingston, Jamaica, with her grandmother who wants to improve the family's social standing, her aunt Sophie who dreams of a new life in Paris for her and Pumpkin, and her mother Paulette who's rarely home. Pumpkin is my childhood nickname, so this is already getting good. When Sophie is offered the chance to move to France for work, she seizes the opportunity and promises to send for her niece in 1 year's time. All Pumpkin has to do is pass her French entrance exam so she can attend school there. But when Pumpkin's grandmother dies, she's left alone with her volatile mother, and as soon as her estranged father turns up, as lazy and conniving as ever, the household's fortunes take a turn for the worse. I do remember reading about this. Oh my goodness. Pumpkin must somehow find a way to raise the money for her French exam so she can free herself from her household and reunite with her beloved aunt in France. In a moment of ingenuity, she turns her passion for baking into a true business. Making batches of sweet potato pudding, coconut drops, and chocolate cakes, Pumpkin develops a booming trade. But when her school and her mother find out what she's been up to, everything this young entrepreneur has worked so hard for may slip through her fingers. Sweetness in the Skin is a funny and heartbreaking piece of multicultural fiction about a young girl figuring out who she is, what she is capable of, and where she truly belongs. This sounds amazing. I'm gonna give it, and this is probably a 5-star book. That's what it sounds like. This sounds like this would be really good to read because it has all the different elements. I love a cultural book. Like, I might need to up this, but I already created July TBR, so this might have to wait until August. But this sounds really damn good. All right. So this one is Equivalent Exchange by Christina C. Jones. So I actually have this on my shelf. So this is something I will be finishing by the end of this month, if not earlier, because technically I have it for 14 days. But Karis Bradford is a woman on the brink. Of what? She doesn't quite know. Her life is shifting rapidly, and the sudden captivating intrusion of Lakin Kimball isn't exactly reassuring. For Karis, Lakin is comfort and risk wrapped in one very appealing package. For Lakin, Karis is barrier and providence, all at once. For both, there arises a need to navigate those contrasts to a conclusion neither was looking for. A need to answer a simple question. If you want this, what are you willing to offer in exchange? Now, this is kind of a shorter synopsis than the other ones, but based upon, I had read Anonymous Acts last month by Christina C. Jones. That was my first time reading a Christina C. Jones book. The way this is written, which I didn't read the synopsis of Anonymous Acts, this sounds like they're about to get into some mess, but I kind of like Christina's writing. The last one was a thriller. This doesn't seem like a thriller. It seems very romantic and like explorative. Like it seems like the two main characters are going to really go through it to figure out if they can be with each other. I would give it, like, just off of this, it's giving 3 or 4 stars. But hopefully when I read it, because I'm gonna read it definitely this month, it's giving between 4 and 5 stars. Yeah. Honestly, we are on a great roll. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The Women Could Fly by Megan Giddings. Reminiscent of the works of Margaret Atwood, Shirley Jackson, and Octavia Butler. Dang, that's an interesting group of people. Okay. A biting social commentary from the acclaimed author of Lakewood. I've never read Lakewood, so maybe I need to look up that. That speaks to our times. A piercing dystopian novel about the unbreakable bond between a young woman and her mysterious mother, set in a world in which witches? Okay. In which witches are real and single women are closely monitored. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm gonna like this. Josephine Thomas has heard every conceivable theory about her mother's disappearance. That she was kidnapped, murdered, that she took on a new identity to start a new family, that she was a witch. This is the most worrying charge because in a world where witches are real, peculiar behavior raises suspicions, and a woman, especially a Black woman, can find herself on trial for witchcraft. But 14 years have passed since her mother's disappearance, and now Jo is finally ready to let go of the past, yet her future is in doubt. The state mandates that all women marry by the age of 30 or enroll in a registry that allows them to be monitored, effectively forfeiting their autonomy. This is, if I read this before, this is probably what made me put this on this list. That sentence right there, because they had lost their goddamn mind. At 28, Jo is ambivalent about marriage. With her ability to control her life on the line, she feels as if she has never understood her mother more. When she's offered the opportunity to honor one last request from her mother's will, Jo leaves her regular life to feel connected to her one last time. In this powerful and timely novel, Megan Giddings explores the limits women face and the powers they have to transgress and transcend them. This sounds fire, I'm not gonna lie. I would give this a 5-star if done right. This sounds like it could be a 5-star book. Especially, I mean, the addition of witches. I mean, I like fantasy a lot more now. But this seems cool. This seems up my alley. Yeah, we getting somewhere, y'all. Womb City by Lotlo Samase. I hopefully pronounced that correctly, or at least close. This is a beautiful ass cover. Okay, that's definitely why I put this on my TBR. This genre-bending African futurist horror novel, oh Lord, blends The Handmaid's Tale and Get Out in an adrenaline-packed cyberpunk body-hopping ghost story exploring motherhood, memory, and a woman's right to her own body. That's a mouthful. Like, let's start there. That is a mouthful. This sounds like a lot. Neela seems to have it all. Fame, wealth, and a long-awaited daughter growing in a government lab. Oh, we growing babies. See, this is where I draw it. I don't like this. But trapped in a loveless marriage to a policeman who uses a microchip to monitor her every move. Oh, Neela's perfect life is precarious. Why is she got everything, but she married to a police officer? Why would she do that? After a drug-fueled evening culminates in an eerie car accident, Neela commits a desperate crime and buries the body, daring to hope that she can keep one last secret. The truth claws its way into Neela's life from the grave. As the ghost of her victim viciously hunts down the people Neela holds dear, she is thrust into a race against the clock. In order to save any of her remaining loved ones, Neela must unravel the political conspiracy her victim was on the verge of exposing or risk losing everyone. Set in a cruel futuristic surveillance state, oh Lord, this sounds crazy, where bodies are a government-issued resource, this harrowing story is a twisty, nail-biting commentary on power, monstrosity, and bodily autonomy. In sickeningly evocative prose, Womb City interrogates how patriarchy pits women against each other as unwitting collaborators in their own oppression. In this devastatingly timely debut novel, oh, this is a debut novel? This sounds cool. Acclaimed short fiction writer, oh, okay, I love a short story. Lotlo Samase brings Assyrian intelligence and Botswana's cultural sensibility to the question, just how far must a woman go to bring the whole system crashing down? 5 stars. This sounds 5 stars. If this is not a 5-star book, I would actually be very disappointed. This sounds like it should be 5 stars. There's no way around it. Like, oh my goodness. All right, and we move. Next book we have is Married on Mondays by Honey Bee. I recently put this on my list. It looks like it's a mess. Okay, this red ass cover. This looks like they're gonna be some shit. By day, Valerie Cooper, Deirdre Dawson, and Foxy Brown assist their husbands, all partners at the law firm Brown, Cooper, and Dawson. Okay. But at night, they become vanilla cream, cherry cream, and sugar cream, and run an upscale swingers club called Cream or Creme. Don't know. There's a accent there. Their clientele, including everyone from judges, lawyers, politicians, and police officers to soccer moms and housewives. Business is booming at the hottest club in town until the police chief extends an indecent proposal to Foxy. Sleep with him. Why is it always the police officers? Like, why are you using your badge? Sleep with him or go to jail. This is crazy. With the whole town standing behind Krim, and not just because they all happen to be clients, not they got them on lock. The women must decide whether to stand together and fight or risk losing their business. This sounds like a funny ass ride, I'm not gonna lie to you. 4.5 stars. This sounds funny as hell. It also says erotic literature is on here, so this is probably sexy as hell, which makes sense because creme sounds like they finna be creaming for real. Sorry. We have Monsters We Defy by Leslie Penelope. That's an interesting name. Pitch perfect with wit, romance, and lovable found family. Publishers Weekly. Starred review. This smart and entertaining magical heist novel hits all the right notes. T.L. Huchu. NPR Best Book of 2022. Interesting. Pace Best Fantasy Book of 2022. Never make a deal with shadows at night. Oh my goodness. I agree. Especially ones that know your name. Okay, we start off kind of cool. Washington, D.C., 1925. Clara Johnson can talk to spirits. A gift that saved her during her darkest moments, now a curse that's left her indebted to the cunning spirit world. So when a powerful spirit offers her an opportunity to gain her freedom, Clara seizes the chance, no questions asked. The task, steal a magical ring from the wealthiest woman in the district. Clara can't pull off this daring heist alone. She'll need the help of an unlikely team, from a handsome jazz musician able to hypnotize with a melody to an aging actor who can change his face to pull off the impossible. But as they race along DC's legendary Black Broadway, conflict in the spirit world begins to leak into the human one. An insidious mystery is unfolding, one that could cost Clara her life and change the fate of an entire city. This sounds really nice, I'm not gonna lie to you. The Monsters We Defy is a timely and dazzling historical fantasy that weaves together African-American folk magic, history, and romance. I like this. I wonder how the romance goes into it. Like maybe she falls in love with the jazz musician or something. But I love historical fiction. Y'all know that. And the magic aspect of it. I automatically was thinking of like Princess and the Frog. Obviously this is not that, but I mean the setting, the shadows, and everything. This sounds really cool. I'm gonna give this a 4.5. I would just off of this synopsis, I would give it a 4.5. All right. And last but not least, we have Death Card by Jasmine Smith. I actually just saw her promote this book. I've had it on my list before now, but it comes out in August. So it's actually not out yet, but it caught my eye. This cover is gorgeous. A dark contemporary fantasy featuring witchcraft, tarot, death, and a bit of romance. That's perfect for fans of Immortal Dark and Cinderella is Dead. So I've never read Immortal Dark, but I love Cinderella is Dead. On an ordinary Monday morning, 18-year-old Michaela Broussard receives the shock of her life. During a customer's tarot reading at her family's occult shop, she turns over the death card and envisions the beautiful stranger stabbing her in the heart. Wait a minute. In order to determine why the girl, Joelle, wants to kill her, she'll have to keep her close. But the more time Michaela spends with her soon-to-be murderer, the more irresistible she finds her. Don't tell me she can fall in love with her killer. Oh my God, as if imminent death isn't worrisome enough, witches are turning up with their magic stolen, and it's clear some very dark magic is at work. Michaela, as the next witch queen of her coven, is tasked with figuring out who's behind the horrific acts, a mystery that will put her and her power to the test. This sounds real good. I'm glad I had this on my list, and I'm glad it's coming out next month because this will be a next month read. Death Card is a dark, pacey, and romantic fantasy about one witch's journey to find the strength to fight for herself, her future, and her beloved community. Fire. 4 stars. Easily. The only reason why I'm not going to give it a, just off of this, I can't give it a 5 because it's a fantasy. Fantasy is for me, it could be hit or miss. It sounds great. And especially since it's a romantasy, I don't know why. Sometimes romantasy really tests me. It's like, sometimes it tests me to understand why am I reading this? Because it's like, it's too much going on or there's not enough going on at the same time. So all of these, honestly, really good options. None of these are awful. I cannot wait to read Equivalent Exchange. I will be reading Death Card next month. And honestly, all of the other books will stay on my TBR until I read them. These all sound really good now that I've read their synopsis and know what they're about, so I can easily add them to my actual TBR when it's time. I have too many books to read this month already, or that I'm already in the process of reading, so I can't add anything this month, but I will definitely be reading all of these books. But if you like these books, add them to your list. I hope that you all enjoy your day, and I will see you guys next time.